It was one of those endless drives through the American heartland, the kind where the highway stretches like a vein into nowhere. I'd been on the road for 12 hours, fleeing a bad breakup in Chicago, heading west toward nothing in particular. Rain hammered the windshield, turning the world into a smear of gray and black. My eyes burned from staring at the dotted white lines, and when the GPS glitched out, signal lost in the storm, I pulled off the first exit I saw. No town name, just a faded sign for the Whispering Pines Motel. Half hidden by overgrown weeds and skeletal trees, the parking lot was empty except for a rusted pickup truck nosed against the office wall. The neon vacancy buzzed erratically, casting a sickly red glow over puddles that reflected it like blood. I grabbed my duffel bag and dashed through the downpour to the office door. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of mildew and stale cigarette smoke. A bell tinkled weakly as I entered, but no one was at the counter. I waited, dripping onto the threadbare carpet, listening to the rain's relentless drum on the tin roof. After a minute, a man shuffled out from a backroom, old, maybe 70s, with liver-spotted hands and eyes sunk deep in shadowed sockets. He didn't smile, just slid a registration card across the counter. "Cash only," he muttered, voice like gravel under tires. I filled it out quickly, handed over $40, and he passed me a key on a plastic fob. "Room 9. Last one available," he said, glancing out the window as thunder rumbled. "Don't mind the noises at night. Old building settles funny." I nodded, too tired to question it, and headed to my room at the end of the L-shaped building. The door stuck a bit, swollen from the humidity, but finally gave way with a groan. Inside, the room was a time capsule from the 70s, avocado green bedspread, a boxy TV on a dresser scarred with cigarette burns, and a bathroom with yellowed tiles that smelled faintly of bleach. The carpet squished under my shoes, damp from some unseen leak. I locked the door, chained it for good measure, and collapsed onto the bed without undressing. The rain lulled me towards sleep, but something nagged at the edges of my mind, the clerk's warning about noises. It started around midnight. A soft thump from the wall shared with roommate. I froze, ears straining. Thump, thump, like someone knocking lightly, testing, then silence. I told myself it was the storm. Branches hitting the building, and rolled over. But minutes later, it came again. Thump, thump, pause, thump, rhythmic, deliberate. My heart picked up pace, a cold prickle spreading across my skin. I sat up, staring at the wall. The room felt smaller, the air heavier, like it was holding its breath. I grabbed my phone, no signal, of course, and shone its flashlight around. Nothing out of place. The thumping stopped, replaced by a faint scratching, like nails on wood coming from the same spot. I pressed my ear to the wall, feeling the chill seep through the thin paneling. On the other side, I heard breathing, shallow, ragged, as if someone was listening back. "Hello?" I whispered, my voice barely audible. The scratching intensified, frantic now, carving what sounded like letters into the drywall. Adrenaline surged. I backed away, eyes darting to the door. Outside, the rain had eased to a drizzle, but the neon signs hum filled the quiet like an insect swarm. I considered leaving, but it was pitch black out there, no other towns for miles. Instead, I turned on the TV for noise, static at first, then an old black and white movie flickered on, the volume low, shadows danced on the walls, making the room feel alive. That's when I noticed the mirror above the dresser. It was fogged slightly, as if someone had breathed on it recently, in the mist. Faint lines appeared, finger-drawn words, "Stay." My stomach twisted. I wiped it clear with my sleeve, but the fog returned almost immediately, the word reappearing like a persistent whisper. The thumping resumed, louder from the ceiling now, as if whatever was in roommate had climbed up. Dust sifted down from the popcorn-textured panels, landing in my hair like ash. I paced, sweat beading despite the chill, telling myself it was paranoia from exhaustion. But then the phone on the nightstand rang, a rotary model, cord frayed, that I hadn't noticed before. I stared at it, the shrill bell cutting through the static. Who would call? No one knew I was here. On the fourth ring, I picked up. Silence on the line, then a crackle, and a voice, soft, feminine, distant. You shouldn't have come. Click. Dead air. My hands shook as I hung up. The thumping overhead moved, tracking my steps across the room, like footsteps nearing mine. Panic clawed at me. I yanked open the drawer of the nightstand, hoping for a Bible or something grounding. Instead, I found a yellowed Polaroid photo, a woman in a floral dress, standing outside this very motel, smiling vacantly. On the back, scrawled in faded ink, Room 9, 1987. She stayed. The date hit me my birth year. But that wasn't the worst. The woman's eyes in the photo. They looked like mine. The power flickered then, the TV dying with a pop, plunging the room into darkness broken only by the neon's intermittent glow through the curtains. The thumping stopped abruptly. In the silence, I heard the doorknob rattle softly at first, then with intent. Someone trying to get in. I froze, breath caught, as the chain clinked against the frame. Who's there? I called, voice cracking. No answer, but the rattling persisted, patient, like they had all night. I backed into the bathroom, locking the door too, huddling in the tub with my knees to my chest. The cold porcelain bit through my clothes. Hours passed, or minutes, time blurred in the dark. Whispers started then, seeping through the vents, fragments of conversations, laughter turning to sobs, names I didn't recognize. One voice stood out, the woman's from the phone. Join us. Stay. Dawn crept in eventually, gray light filtering under the door. The noises faded with the night. I gathered my things, heart pounding, and peeked out. The parking lot was empty, the clerk's office dark. My car started on the first try, and I sped away without looking back. But as I merged onto the highway, I glanced in the rearview mirror. The motel sign glowed steadily now, no vacancy, and in the photo I'd shoved into my pocket, the woman's smile seemed wider, her eyes following me. I haven't stopped driving since. Every motel I pass, I wonder if Room 9 is waiting, and sometimes, late at night, I hear that thumping again from inside my own walls. Some things wait patiently. They don't chase you. They simply prepare. We called it the Black Pines Asylum. Officially, it had been closed since 1989, but the locals still whispered the old name like it might hear them. My two friends, Kyle and Mia, and I had been chasing abandoned places for content, grainy YouTube videos that got a few thousand views if we were lucky. This one felt different from the start. The fence was rusted but intact. We had to cut a gap with bolt cutters under a moonless October sky. The wind carried the smell of wet earth and something sharper, like old copper pennies, inside. The building swallowed sound. Our footsteps on the cracked linoleum echoed for too long, then died abruptly, as if the walls were listening and then deciding not to answer. Flashlight beams caught peeling paint in institutional green, graffiti that looked more like pleas than art, and wheelchairs tipped over like broken animals. The deeper we went, the colder it became, not the crisp autumn chill from outside, but a bone-deep dampness that settled into your clothes and refused to leave. We found the restraint room almost by accident. A heavy steel door at the end of a corridor marked Ward C restricted. The handle was cold enough to burn. When we pushed it open, the hinges gave a low, wet groan. In the center of the small room sat the chair, heavy metal frame bolted to the concrete floor. 4 thick leather restraints, 2 for wrists, 2 for ankles, and a 5th for the head. They should have been cracked, mildewed, falling apart after 35 years. Instead, the leather was black and glossy, supple, as though someone had conditioned it yesterday. No dust, no cobwebs, just the faint scent of saddle soap, and something underneath it told sweat, maybe or fear. Mia laughed nervously. This is straight out of a movie. She stepped forward to get a better angle with her phone. The moment her shadow fell across the chair, the straps moved, not violently, just a slow, deliberate tightening. The buckles clicked once, twice. Leather slid through metal rings with the soft rasp of a zipper being drawn shut. We all froze. Carl whispered, "Air current," but the air was dead still. No vents, no windows. The straps relaxed slightly when Mia stepped back, then tightened again when she edged closer. We backed out without another word, hearts hammering. "We got the shot," I said, trying to sound calm. "Let's keep moving." We explored for another hour towards overturned beds, faded patient charts scattered like dead leaves, but the chair stayed in there. Every time we passed a doorway, I expected to see it waiting. Eventually we circled back to the main hallway to head out. That's when I checked the footage on my phone, just to make sure the battery hadn't died in the cold. The clip started normal, Mia's ding sweeping the room, her voice low. Then the moment she approached, the straps tightening on camera, clear as daylight, but at 52 seconds, something else appeared. Shadows at the edge of the frame. Not our shadows. Hands, thin, pale. Elongated fingers, too long for normal hands, moving with practiced care. They adjusted the wrist cuffs first, pulling the leather snug, then the ankle straps. Finally, the head restraint, fingers lingering on the buckle as though savoring the motion. No arms. No bodies, just hands, floating in the gloom, performing a routine they'd done thousands of times before. The footage continued. After the hands finished, the chair frame gave a single, soft creak, the sound of weight settling into it, then nothing. The hands vanished, the straps stayed tight. We didn't speak in the car on the way home. The heater was on full blast. But none of us stopped shivering. 2 nights later, Mia called me at 2:17 a.m. Her voice was small. "I can hear it," she said. "The buckles. In my apartment. Click, click, like someone's testing them. She doesn't own a chair like that. She sleeps on a futon." Carl stopped posting. He moved back in with his parents upstate and won't talk about that night. When I asked him once, he just said, "Don't watch the rest of the footage." I did. There's a second clip I hadn't noticed at first, taken automatically when I set my phone down on the floor outside the restraint room while we caught our breath. In the corner of the frame, barely visible in the green night vision glow, the chair is empty, but the straps are tight. And in the reflection of the polished metal headrest, something pale is looking back, eyes wide, mouth slightly open, waiting. It looks a lot like me. I keep the phone powered off now, but sometimes, late at night when the apartment is quiet, I hear it anyway. A soft click, then another, patient, prepared, and I wonder how long it's been getting the straps ready. How long it's been waiting for me to sit down. Lately, the sounds have grown closer, not just in the walls but under my bed, in the closet, even from the empty chair in the corner of my room that I swear wasn't there before. I feel a chill draft now, even on warm nights, carrying that faint scent of saddle soap and old fears. My wrists itch, as if invisible cuffs are already testing their fit. I don't sleep much anymore. When I do, I dream of those hands reaching not from the shadows, but from inside my own skin, pulling tighter, until there's no room left to breathe. And the worst part, I catch myself walking toward the door in the middle of the night, keys in hand, as if something is calling me back toward C. Back to my appointment. Back to the chair that's been waiting all along.